believe that these commitments set the bar for us, but also for other parties and their NDCs too. And I would like to acknowledge, I would like to applaud those that have already submitted NDCs which are aligned with this objective. And I want to truly thank all the friends around this table and the many people who put hard work into this on the stage and beyond to make sure we're making these new commitments today. And also I would like to call on all others, in particular those in major economies, to join us and to make similar commitments for their own NDCs. This truly is crucial. It is absolutely pivotal that 1.5 will remain alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're very much focused on the negotiating texts this morning, but we truly all also wanted to take this moment to recall the critical importance for our process of setting ambitious NDCs. This is what keeps us on track to deliver on the Paris Agreement, and in the end, that is what we are all here for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I now give the floor to the representative of Panama, please.
Thank you very much, everybody, colleagues. We have no more time to lose. We have been trying to get this crisis under control for the past 32 years, and on the way we have more than double emissions. If we really want a chance for survival, we need ambitious NDCs from everyone. It is time to ramp up efforts across the board from all countries. And this meeting today, this press conference, could not be more important, as we just got a new version of the negotiating text which does not include a strong provisions for mitigation or strong provisions for ambitions. Not having a strong provisions for mitigations is a death sentence to my people. Not having a strong provisions for mitigation is a step further into extinction. Not having a strong provisions for mitigation is basically giving up. And we have no time to give up. This is why we're up here. All the countries that have joined this press release and that are present here today know that we have a chance at survival, know that we can take steps further to make sure current and future generations have a planet that is livable. So this is a show of unity across the board, from north to south and south to north. And the G0 nations, which I'm representing here, Bhutan, Suriname, Madagascar, and Panama, have shown that even with little resources, we can still push forward. However, we also need the mitigation commitments in the new text, and we also need more finance to be able to keep our carbon negative status. The current text does not move us forward on ambition, it moves us forward towards extinction. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I give the floor to the Minister from Norway.
Thank you. The announcement today is an important step forward. Inspired by the examples set by the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates and Brazil, these nations have demonstrated leadership through the ambition of the 2035 NDC targets and by making earlier commitments. The progress of carbon negative and carbon neutral countries serves as a reminder of the transformative path we must collectively pursue. Their actions provide the necessary signal of determination amidst challenging negotiations. As we approach the final days of COP29, it is clear that the discussions remain difficult, and consensus on a strong message about mitigation is still elusive. There is a real risk of falling short. This makes it all the more crucial to send a clear signal of a high ambition for emissions reductions without delay. We must reinforce the message that the Paris Agreement is functioning as intended, that the outcomes of the last year's global stocktake are meaningful, and that countries are committed to implementing the agreements reached. Upholding the 1.5-degree targets is critical, as is ensuring robust follow-up on key elements, including paragraphs 28 and 33 of the COP28 decision. Norway is proud to join this announcement alongside several other nations, including our close partners in the European Union. We hope that this collective commitment to ambitious NDCs will contribute to delivering a strong and clear outcome on mitigation ambition at COP29. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I give the floor now to the Minister from Switzerland.
Thank you very much, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As an alpine country, Switzerland is particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. 1 degree warming globally means 2 degrees in Switzerland. The impacts are getting stronger. We saw it this year again in our mountains with several damages. For this reason, we have always been committed to contribute to an effective and efficient climate regime. We call upon others, in particular G20 countries, who hold 80% of world emissions, to join the effort and to submit national climate targets for the period 2031 and 2035. We are ready, also Switzerland, to do our part. Switzerland intends to submit its 2035 NDCs by the deadline of 10 February 2025. Our NDC will be aligned with the 1.5 degree objective. It will also be aligned with our long-term strategy. Our climate policy is strongly rooted in our democratic process. The Swiss population approved by a public vote our new law on climate change and innovation. It anchored by this into law our net zero objective for 2050. The law sets indicative targets for the period between 2031 and 2040. It also sets indicative sectoral targets for building, transport and industry. It's important to respect all the population. With the votation, we have our population behind this goal. Next year, our Parliament will start discussions on the precise measures to achieve our NDCs for the period after 2030. This will again be subject to the democratic debate. This ensures that these measures are accepted by the population. Having NDCs that are easy to understand and compare is key to build a positive momentum for NDCs next year. In addition to strong targets, we also need stronger implementation. Clear politics and measures at home are key. Well-designed NDCs send as well signals to the private sector and enhance investments in the economic sector of the future. Excellencies, dear colleagues, we need clear language on NDCs to come out of Baku. I hope that the negotiation can deliver this signal. We invite all other countries to join our initiative and to work together to tackle the incredible challenge. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Minister. I give the floor now to the Special Envoy from the UK.
Thank you very much. It's important that we're here today, and we're pleased to be here with our colleagues. When the UK announced our ambitious 1.5 aligned NDC with an 81% reduction on 1990 levels by 2035, we called for other countries to match our ambition to address the urgency of climate change, following the increasingly stark warnings from the United Nations that the world is off track to limit global temperature rises to 1.5 degrees. Our ambitious yet pragmatic NDC is not just crucial for limiting global warming as part of our collective international efforts in line with the Paris Agreement. In the UK, our NDC is a key instrument for our domestic economic growth and prosperity because it will attract investment and is attracting investment into our increasingly low carbon economy. We're here today with other nations who are committing to ambitious NDCs that are aligned with the outcomes of the global stocktake agreed at COP28. At COP28, we agreed that NDCs should be economy-wide, 1.5 degrees aligned, and cover all greenhouse gases. In the context of what we're doing here at COP29, it is important that we cannot slide back from this agreement, and we should collectively agree to move forward to act on this agreement. We hope that other countries, especially major economies, will respond to this call, and we welcome the indications from some countries that they are ready to do so in the coming days and months. But I think it's also important in concluding that I congratulate my Mexican colleague for their announcement of a net zero target by 2050, I believe, This is an extremely important statement by one of our leading economies in the world. Congratulations, Mexico. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I now give the floor to Mexico, to the Director General.
Thank you very much for that congratulation. Dear colleagues, good morning. It's a great honor to join our voice today in this commitment, representing Mexico's new administration. And let me start by conveying the greetings of our President, Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum, and our Minister of Environment, Dr. Alicia Bárcena, who, by the way, truly send their greetings and following the proceedings of the COP very closely. The importance of these leadership cannot be understated. Mexico's environmental policy today is headed by two women who are not just scientists, but longtime social movement leaders and true believers in the importance of climate justice and the undeniable foundation for our shared prosperity. One would hope that no one that is attending the climate COP would need reminding of the catastrophic future we are heading towards if things don't change drastically and soon. This is unfortunately not the case. Beyond the COP spotlight, we are also seeing very concerning political messages signaling setbacks in climate leadership across the world. So in this context, this message is even more important. Sending this message this morning, keeping 1.5 degrees within reach is still possible, and it will require a degree of political will and an important mobilization of efforts and resources to be able to achieve it. We want to be very clear on this point. Mexico will be updating its NDC next year and increase its ambition. We're also planning to move towards a more credible target, more clear one, potentially one that is expressed in absolute economy-wide reduction targets that translate into specific carbon budgets per sector, allowing for much greater accountability on compliance. Though this administration is somewhat new, we are already running the numbers and having the necessary conversations to engage in a robust trajectory to net zero by 2050 that we will include in our long-term planning. We don't think this will be easy, but we have never had a stronger political mandate to do so. We also know that the commitments are worthless without complementary actions to effectively deliver on them. In her 100 steps for the Mexican government, President Sheinbaum has laid out a plan unequivocally that follows certain steps. We are ramping up renewables. We are investing in energy efficiency. We are betting strongly on circular economy and on nature-based solutions, electrifying transportation, significantly extending our railway systems, cleaning up and recovering our rivers. All of these priority interventions are being designed in a way that deliberately and significantly contribute to reducing social inequalities, creating thousands of new and decent jobs, dynamizing the economy, and boosting national technology production. We hope others will join us in understanding that profound and transformative climate action, as well as a healthy environment, is key for human welfare. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I give the floor to Ambassador Stewart for Canada.
Thank you. It is an honor to address you today among this group of leading governments committed to submitting ambitious new NDCs. Tackling the climate emergency is both an environmental imperative and an economic opportunity. That's why Canada joins this group here today in solidarity with the objectives of the Paris Agreement. In 2022, Canada put in place our 2030 emissions reduction plan to live up to those objectives, with a sector-by-sector approach that is slashing emissions while strengthening our economy. Our plan is working. Canada's emissions are the lowest they have been in 25 years. We are bending the curve, and at the same time, our economy is growing. This is progress. Today's show of solidarity is a demonstration of the global commitment to the Paris Agreement. We know that climate ambition means immense opportunities. It means pushing the boundaries of innovation and green technology. It means building partnerships with private sector, communities, and Indigenous people. It means bringing hope to our kids, fighting for the generations to come. But more importantly, it means building a safer, more sustainable, and more prosperous future for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, as you understand, our panelists do have a very busy morning, so I will just take a couple of questions. I will go first in front of me here to Reuters.
Hi, thank you. Kate Abnett from Reuters. Please, could I ask the panelists for their reaction to the NCQG negotiating text this morning? And in particular, you're here to agree a global climate finance target. There's no number on that target in this text. Why is there no number?
Okay, who would like to go first? Commissioner?
As for the text overall, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is clearly unacceptable as it stands now.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anything anybody else would like to add to that? If not, then I will take a second question. Yes, here on the aisle in the middle. The mic's coming from behind you.
Thanks, Sia Rosa from Politico. I've got just one item for clarification and a question. The clarification is, can you tell me which countries or how many countries exactly are part of this initiative? Because there was also a mention of Georgia in the press release, I believe. And my question is, my understanding is that the United States was going to be part of this initiative, but now is not. Could you tell me what happened there? Thank you.
Thank you. So who would like to? Commissioner, yeah? Unless somebody else wants to? Okay.
Thanks. Let me reiterate that we're truly delighted to have this group of initiators, this group of countries, you know, who are part of the posse to make this happen. There is a larger group of countries, in our view, openly looking into joining this. And I don't think it is helpful to now speculate who will, you know, who and with what speed will join our group. But I think it is really encouraging that many of them are openly looking into joining our ambition. Having said that, you know, we would really plea, particularly to the largest economies and to those emitting the most, to do something that is similar to what we are doing.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. I will take one more question and then we'll wrap it up. The gentleman in the green jumper.
Thank you so much, Lucas Krieger for Table Media. You did this call for more ambitious NDCs, so this is a question for the developed countries represented on the panel. But you haven't brought forward an NDC yourselves, like the ones that haven't. Are you going to meet the deadline? And wouldn't that call be much more credible if you already put forward the NDC for 2035? Thank you.
And I think Canada and Panama that would like to respond. Canada first.
Yes, happy to respond to that. The decision of our NDC, our next target is currently being considered by our cabinet. We have a Net Zero Accountability Act in Canada whereby that target needs to be set by December 1st of this year. And so we will be looking to submit our NDC on time in 2035 in February. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just want to clarify that the group of G0 nations, Panama, Bhutan, Madagascar, and Suriname, we have already complied with the carbon neutrality targets of the Paris Agreement. And on top of that, we are going to make all efforts possible to remain carbon negative by mid-century. Additionally, Panama is going to be presenting a new climate commitment. However, it's not going to be called an NDC. What we're doing is that we're bringing together our climate, biodiversity, and the certification commitments into just one document that we're going to call the Nature Pledge. And we're going to be submitting our Nature Pledge to all the 3 Rio Conventions by late January. And we're doing this because it is time to streamline processes in order to get to real action. We believe that back in 1992, when we fragmented nature in different pieces, we made a huge mistake, because that international fragmentation led to domestic fragmentation in policy. So what we're doing is bringing it all together into just one pledge, one single financial mechanism, so that we can get to our targets on time.
Thank you very much. And let me thank again all of our speakers for their time this morning, and also thank to all of you for making the time to be here. Thank you.
So when are you at CEC?
2000.
Okay.
At the beginning.
Okay, so my mother was environment minister in the late 90s, Christine Stewart.
Ah, you might remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my mom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
small world.
from
Yeah.